Welcome to our coverage of the 2014 MCE British Superbike Championship. Over the course of the season, we're going to be bringing you exclusive behind-the-scenes action from what we consider to be the #1 domestic championship in the world. Problem is, in the past, I've equated owning a Ducati sports bike as to being very similar to having an Italian model girlfriend. They're beautiful to look at, full of passion, and you'll be the envy of all your friends having one. But could you live with one every day? I decided it was time to find out, and luckily I managed to persuade Ducati to lend me a Panigale for a few weeks to use as my everyday transport. And just by pure coincidence, I happen to have an Italian model girlfriend.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. It's not like we just hire a model and pretend.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. Once again, it's time to be proud to be British, and you know why? This, the Triumph Daytona 675R. Now, we all know Italian bike fans love their racing, and there's a real buzz around Misano today because Valentino Rossi and Nicky Hayden from the Ducati MotoGP team are both here, and while we haven't had a chance to see him yet, and I will be on the hunt for Rossi, don't worry, I've got a feeling, just a little inkling, they might be down there in the garages doing some signing due to the thousands of people. How do you find that? Was that fun?
Yeah, very funny, very funny. Yeah, unfortunately, in the final, I don't start well and Troy beat me. But anyway,
you're still the quickest.
It's funny.
And how are you finding World Ducati Week?
Very, very good. A lot of people, a lot of fun, so beautiful.
So we're at the Electric Cinema on Portobello Road in London for the premiere of iSuperbiker The War for Four, the film which will recapture all the excitement, thrills and drama of the 2013 British Superbike season. Now obviously we can't show you the whole film due to the fact it's, well, 1 hour 30 minutes long, and this is the exclusive press screening and it's not out for a couple of months, but what we can do is whet your appetite while we go check it out and we'll chat to some of the stars afterwards. Welcome to Geared Up, the section of the show where we check out the latest biking gear, gadgets and innovations from the shelves of J&S Accessories. This week we thought we'd address possibly the most popular question we get asked. And no, it's not when am I going to get a haircut, but what's the best way to film my ride? So it's amazing how many celebrity hangers-on come and join the TTC paddock to see a bit of exciting racing. I've managed to find Mr. Ross Noble himself, mate. Just give it
Hanger on, yeah.
So when we were invited to take part in our first ever wildcard ride here at Bike World, I'm sure you can imagine we were quite excited, especially because it would take place at the final round of the British Superbike Championship at Brands Hatch, our local circuit. With that in mind, the first thing we needed to do to take up our first ever wildcard ride was a ride up with loads of talent. Unfortunately, I wasn't an option because of, well, the whole needing to have talent thing. The 2014 Superstock 1000 Championship has been dominated by one man, and that's this guy, number 83, Danny Buchan. Before he arrived at Snetterton, he had 2 poles and 2 race wins, and as you can see, he's gone and stuck it on pole again. So Cal, first up, congratulations on an awesome 2013 season, but the reason we're standing here on the Ducati stand is obviously all changed for 2014. Now, on paper, this bike is rather lacking compared to some of the other Super Nakeds. For instance, the BMW S1000R, you've got the Aprilia Tuono, and of course the KTM Super Duke 1290R. But it's not all about power on paper, because while this only produces 142 brake horsepower and 82 pound-foot of torque, it's how it delivers that. And this is where I think the Z1000 is a bit of a trump card up its sleeve, and that is its engine. Because as all men know, size doesn't matter, we hope. But Simon said, Luke, trust me, give it the full beans in second gear and you'll make it over that crest. The feeling of getting over the top of that incline was incredible. The feeling of hitting the tree, not so good. Today we're here at Snetterton for round 3 of the MCE British Superbike Championship, and we'll be bringing you all the action from behind the racing. So Alex, the British Superbike champion, mate, we were there at Brands Hatch for the final round. It had to be the most dramatic final round of racing ever. The weather didn't help, but you are champion. How does that feel? So here on the Kawasaki stand, and I've managed to find the new Z1000 SX. Now this is Kawasaki's biggest selling model in the UK, and you can kind of see why. If you're fed up with putting on the Power Ranger suit and cranking yourself over your litre superbike, this is probably one of the best alternative options out there, and the pure definition of what I consider a sports tourer to be. Now, whenever we come to a British Superbike round, we like to spend the whole weekend with a specific race team to show you what really goes on behind the scenes. And this weekend, it's the turn of Team WD-40. Now, Brent, you probably have the, well, it's got to be said, the most well-lubricated garage in the paddock. Did I just say that?
Well, there's no squeaks on us for sure.
Hey. So we're here at P&H Motorcycles in Crawley to discuss a very sexy motorbike, the Ducati Multistrada, and the reason we've got Ross Noble here is not only because he's another long-haired man who likes motorbikes,
yes,
makes me feel less of a freak, is because you actually own one, don't you?
I do, yes. Trying to work out how to put the steering lock on.
Yeah.
That's a bit, you know, to start with, that is...
I don't know how to do it, I've had it for a week. I didn't even know there's a steering lock. Oh, tell me all about it.
What, so you've just been leaving the back? Anyone could just wheel it away.